Well, I'm finally getting to replacing this front drive shaft flex disc, otherwise known as a Guibo. These are very much a hallmark of German engineering, specifically that went into the design of these cars. They're based off an old Mercedes design. But this is what this thing looks like. Instead of a typical U-joint you would see in any other rear-wheel drive vehicle, these Chargers and Challengers use these rubber Guibos. That's what they're called. And it's basically, it just does the same thing as a U-joint, otherwise known as a flex disc. We're going to go ahead and replace it. I've got some new thread locker here, something to mark the drive shaft with, all new hardware for it, because you are supposed to replace all the hardware that mounts this thing to the back of the transmission to the drive shaft. Now I've got a selection of tools. I've got a torque wrench. The nuts are supposed to be torqued to 49 foot-pounds, I believe it is. Got a couple pry bars just in case. Crowfoot, which I'm gonna need for sure. Then I've also got my favorite assister here, light, and a couple other things. This I don't think I'm gonna have a use for, and you guys will see it here in a moment. So for the record, there's the back one. I don't know if you guys can see that all that well. There you go. That one is a lot easier to get at and change out. It's already been changed out by the municipality that I bought this car from. I got this thing at auction. And the service records indicate that that thing was replaced 2 years ago. It still looks good. I've already looked at it. This one, a little bit long in the tooth. This isn't the bad side, but it's got cracks and stuff all around it. It's time to replace it. When they start getting like this, you're supposed to change them. Oftentimes, you can see this crack right there around the bolt hole. Oftentimes, people don't change these until they outright fail because they just, don't realize that they go bad. And when they go out, they go out. At that point, it's just very obvious that they're broken and need to be replaced. But this is something that should be done. You should at least look at these every so often and make sure they're still in good condition. You can see that there's another crack here. There's a bunch of stress cracks going all around this thing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it. Hopefully I can get to everything. I currently have the vehicle in park right now, and I'm gonna have to get out from underneath here, put it in neutral, come back down here and rotate the shaft around in order to get at the other hardware, because this is not going to be fun or easy to get to. That's how much space I have to work with back here. So I'm hoping a crowfoot and an extension with one of my long ratchets will be able to break the torque on these. Once I can break the torque, I think it'll be a bit easier after I undo all these, pry this thing off and back, and hopefully we've got enough flex throughout the whole shaft here in order to do that. So we'll see. Let me get situated and I'll clip back in at the next step. So make no mistake, this is a huge, huge pain in the ass to get enough torque onto that back nut and undo the rest of these. This is what I used. 18mm crowfoot and a really long ratchet. You can also use a long breaker bar. You're gonna need it just because of the angle that this thing is on. I also got this T60 on the head right here. And then at that point, when I broke the torque, I just grabbed this, held it on with my other hand, and started whipping off that bolt. So now I gotta go get into the car, put this thing in neutral, because it's a Pursuit model. It does not have, or at least I could not find, the manual neutral release for the transmission. So I've got to go put the thing in neutral, basically come back down here, turn the drive shaft so I can get at the other bolts. But what I'm also going to try and do is see if I can get to the hardware for this one as well. I don't know that I'm going to be able to, but I'll give it a shot. So after a whole bunch of cussing and trying to get this thing out properly, I have finally gotten all of these loose. So that's just the first part of this battle. Now, what would have made this a lot easier on myself would be getting a set of metric torque adapters. That is linked in the description. I'm probably going to pick up a set just to have because they are incredibly useful, especially for something like this. What they look like is this. These particular ones are made by Snap-on. You don't need to spend this kind of money on these. You can get them on Amazon for like 60 bucks. But I had these when I worked in aviation. And this would have worked perfectly. But of course, I just have standard. I don't have metric. And just about everything in this car, I believe everything in this car is metric. So get yourself a set of those. It'll save you a lot of headache. I tried to get on there with some crow feet, and I was able to somewhat get them to break torque like that, but I do not like using crow feet because they often will slip off if you're not straight over them, and that's what one of them tried to do. I was able to, very luckily, get this big wrench here with this T60 on the bolt head. I didn't want to do this. Thankfully, it worked. I've had these things where they've broken on me when you put too much torque on them, but I was able to get this thing into the top of the head here with that wrench, that big ratchet. I was able to just very carefully break torque on it and just pull it back. So then it broke torque, and then I was able to get up there with this and this at the end. And then I could use the crow feet on the other side because the torque was broken and just whip it out just like that. Simple enough. So now I got to get all that hardware out. I'm going to take a bunch of pictures off camera. So all 6 pieces of hardware are out. You can see on this one where it started rounding off, and that's the one that I got really lucky with. Like I said, though, all of this stuff has to be replaced. You do not want to reuse this stuff, and I'll show you why with the new hardware. You can kind of see it with this one, but you can see how this side and this side are kind of crushed in a little bit. That's by design. So these things, they're retention nuts. They basically will lose torque once you remove them. If I were to put these back on, they would not be able to meet the torque specifications that were required of them back then. So with all those out, now I have to be able to move the drive shaft back, or at least drop it enough so I can get that flex disc out. And in order to do that, you can barely see it, but right there you can see the mounts right behind this heat shield here. I got to pull this heat shield down and either slide it up or slide it that way. And in order to get to the bolts that hold this thing and drop it just enough, and I guess inspect it too, because I'm already going to be there. And hopefully when that happens, we can get this thing off and out. So what I ended up doing was dropping those 2 bolts, holding the bracket completely. This piece of junk's out, so it's just sitting. Got a pry bar. Very carefully pulled this thing back and off. So now should just be able to get this thing out. Man, is it in there tight. Holy hell. So I'm gonna have to probably get a little creative here. Might have to get a dead blow or something up there and just give it a couple quick love taps, and hopefully we can get it off then. So I just had to put penetrating oil all over this damn thing because it is on there tight. I just got one of these out. I think it was this one. Yeah, that one's out. So now I just gotta mess with this thing, try and get it out. That one's good. Apologize for the camera angles here. There it is. Almost whacked myself in the head, but that's all right. Nice. Where the hell did it go? Oh, here it is. the offending part. So now to get the new one, get it in the correct way, and go from there. So there's the old one, here's the new one. You can see that they are in fact the same part. Happy with that. So let's go ahead and get back down there and see if we can install this thing. Very carefully, I got the thing installed up there. Goes in perfectly on the transmission flange. So now I just got to get the drive shaft aligned and pushed back up, and we'll get some bolts through it and see if we can cinch those down just a little bit. And you'll see once you have this thing undone just a little bit back here, it's a little bit easier to move and manipulate it. This drive shaft has not moved. I know this because I know these marks were here and I have pictures. So I didn't bother remarking the drive shaft. I know the flange has not moved at all because I've not put the car in drive with it running. So that thing has stayed exactly where it is. So I have verified that this shaft is going back on the same orientation that it came off. So all I'm gonna do is just very carefully slide this forward and rotate it just a bit to get it lined up with that Guibo. Might have to use two hands on this process, but that's okay. I think we're all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the new hardware in and throw the nuts on the back as I can with my fingers. Then at that point, we can start cinching everything down. It's 49 foot-pounds and it's gonna be fun. A lot of fun getting a torque wrench in there to try and get torque on this hardware. A little bit of blue Loctite, stick that on through. These bolts with the normal heads on them go through the drive shaft. There's that. Now I just got to do the top one. And then once all three of these are in, I'm going to grab a few of these, just put them on finger tight. Now, one thing I like to do as I pull off old hardware is put the fastener back on the other end of whatever bolt it is. And you'll see here that these kind of squarish looking nuts are actually the ones that go on these T60 bolts. So you got to make sure that you get the right nuts on the correct fastener. These, as you can see, these are the old ones, go on these bolts. Once those are in, just grab your other bolts. These already have blue Loctite on them. Slip those in the same way. I'm going to have to orient the drive shaft around in order to get on the back side of it, but it's all right. That's what you got to do. All right, so those are in. They're all cinched down. I just need to torque them. Not a big deal there. I'm about to do that. I've also got the back support bearing back on. So once I get the front bolts torqued, I'm going to go ahead and put that heat shield back over here. I don't think you guys need to see that, but I'll get it in and get the end of the clip for you. And then I got to get this support brace back up. One of these is spinning on the other side. It's not even secured to the inside of the body here, so that's why this isn't removed completely. You can see the nut's still there. Couldn't get it off. Not surprised at this point, but I was able to move this thing around to be able to get in there with the required tools easier. So maybe you'll be able to remove this off of your car if you have one. But everything looks good. Nice and straight as it should be. So I'm happy with that. So it's a really weird angle to get you guys up in there. But basically what I'm doing is I already torqued the T60s, but I was able to get my torque wrench on the bolts like this, get in there with my other hand with my 18 millimeter stubby there, and basically just brace up against it and let it torque. And I only have one more left to do, which is the one that's all the way at the top. Like I said, the car's in neutral. So we're just gonna move this thing around just like that. See if I can get you guys in a good area here. I know you guys probably aren't gonna be able to see this that well, but this is the last one that I need to torque. So I'm just getting on it like that. Getting my little stubby here on the other side. Transmission's not in park, so it's a little bit more difficult. All right, so now it's in park. There's the parking pawl, just locked. So I'll just get a wrench here on the other side. There it is. So all of them are torqued now. Definitely happy with that. It was a lot easier getting that thing in there than taking it out. So all I'm gonna do now off camera is put the car back in neutral, verify that everything here spins and it doesn't wobble like that. It looks like I have everything on correct, just eyeballing it. After that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and put that heat shield back in. Gotta somehow get that thing back in. It was kind of weird getting it out, but it should be okay. And then of course, put this thing back up. All done. Heat shield's back in place. And then this brace is back in place too. Now, strong point that I need to make. When you get this heat shield back on, it's very much bendable. Make sure that you are not letting it rest on your exhaust, nor are you letting it rest against your drive shaft, because it's just gonna make a ton of noise when you go to drive the car. Just reach your hand back up here. Hopefully your exhaust isn't hot. You're not doing this on a hot car, but just make sure that all the parts of this shield are not touching whatever exhaust you have. This thing is very important. It keeps all this extra heat off of that support bearing. And that support bearing, obviously, if we have to replace it, all of this stuff has to come back off. So it's very much dependent on you. When you go back together with all this, make sure that you get this back in correctly. It really only goes in one way. And thankfully, because it is so malleable, you can kind of contort it to get it to do what you need.